Hi friends, good afternoon. I am Amir Mehboob, Assistant Professor, Department of Management, the Bhopal School of Social Sciences. Today, I am here with an important topic, that is communication, which is taught to the students of BBA second semester by the name of subject called communication skills. So, in this subject, the first unit talks about various aspects of communication. So, today I am here with a module on communication. Friends, today I will be talking to you all, first of all, about definition of communication. Then I will be talking in detail about the meaning, aspects, prospects and nature of communication, which plays an important role, also highlighting about some characteristics of communication. Then we will move to the next topic, that is barriers to communication, which of course is an important matter to be taken care of, because if the barriers are not taken care of, communication will not achieve its purpose and it will not achieve its objective. So friends, let's begin. Communication, a word which is heard so many times. We all listen to this term so many times. Always students come to us, sir, we want to improve our communication skills, we want to develop our communication skills. Every time we see any advertisement in newspaper or magazine or in on any electronic or print media, want ads, it's given minimum qualification required is this, and at the end it is given in bold letters that candidate must have excellent communication skills. So friends, here the question arises as to what actually communication is all about. Why there is so much of hue and cry over this word communication? So friends, the word communication is derived from the Latin word communis or communicare, which when translated into English means to share or to transfer. To make it more clear, friends, in very simple words, communication is the process of transmitting or transforming or exchanging your ideas, your views, your facts, opinions and beliefs from one person to another. If you look at this definition, the word communication is derived from the Latin word communis. Yes, the basic function of management, as we all know, is planning. But communication is also an important part of management. It is almost impossible for any management to survive without proper communication. Proper communication, I said. I mean to say proper communication both internally as well as externally. Two-way communication. It should not only be a two-way communication. I told you communication is a process of exchanging your views and ideas. So, it makes it very clear that there are always two parties in communication, a sender and a receiver. Sender is the person who has the idea, who has got some message which he wants to be transmitted to the receivers, and the receivers are the people who are the listeners. So, communication is a two-way process which involves transferring of information or messages from one person or group of persons to another person or to group of persons. The process of communication goes on and includes at least one sender and a receiver for the message to be passed on. In the absence of another person, that is the receiver, communication cannot take place. The messages can either be any idea which the sender has, or imagination or thought, emotions, feelings, or anything, knowledge or information or order or complaint or motivation, anything. Communication can be, when we talk about the objectives of communication, there are so many objectives. Communication can be, can have an objective, can have an information, can have education, can be done for education. Communication is also done for raising morale of the employees in any organization. Yes, which is very important. There are different modes of communication available today, So many modes nowadays we have got, previously we had letters, telegrams, fax and telephone calls. Now, of course, we have got internet, we have got emails, we have got WhatsApp, then, Skype, and so many modern technologies, modern methods of communication have come. But again, even after having so many modern devices, modern techniques of communication, of course, the importance of communication is increasing day by day. Different people have different communication in different countries. Even people who are deaf and dumb, they also communicate Yes, they communicate by their own language, which is known as sign language. I will come to that topic in the next module when I will be talking to all of you about the importance of non-verbal communication, which is so important, non-verbal communication. So, there are two types of communication, my dear students. The first one is the verbal communication, which includes oral and written communication, and the second communication is non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication includes all the non-verbal aspects, that is body language, face expressions, actions, gestures, postures, voice modulation, sign language, paralanguage, kinesics, proxemics, artifacts, haptics, and so on. Process of communication is a very important thing. My dear students, my dear friends, please remember that the communication is a dynamic process that begins with conceptualizing of ideas by the sender. The sender has conceptualized the idea, who is the first part in communication, and the sender wants the message to be transmitted through a channel. He uses some channel, and using that channel, he wants that message to be transmitted to the receiver. And then the receiver, who in turn, my dear students, will give the feedback, and in the form, who will give the feedback in the form of some signal, maybe in the form of any response or feedback. Yes, my dear students, when we talk about communication, feedback is important because that ensures the completion or attainment of the objective of particular communication process. So, there are basically there are 7 major elements of process of communication, my dear students. Yes, mind you, communication, as I told you, is a dynamic and a systematic process. So, it has to have proper process. It has to have proper sequence. A proper sequence is to be followed. So, the first in the process of communication is, of course, the sender. The origin, the birth of communication takes place with sender. The sender is a person who has an idea. Right now, I am the sender. I have the message in my mind. All of you who are listening to me are my receivers. So, the sender has an idea, and then the sender will encode the message. Here comes encoding. Encoding means whatever message, whatever idea I have in my mind, I will translate and transfer it into some thoughts, into some language, and I will encode the message. That is encoding. And then I will use some channel. Channel will carry my message from sender to the receiver, and then the receiver will receive the message. To transmit, to exchange, to transfer my message, I will use some channel, I will use some medium, I will use some media. So, selection of the right channel and the right media is very important. Unless and until we know our target audience, we will not be able to select the right channel. So, knowing the audience is very important when we talk about communication. Then here the next thing in process of communication is the receiver. Receiver receives the message, and then he encodes the message. Then he decodes the message. After receiving the message, the receiver will decode the message. After decoding, the receiver understands the message, interprets the message, analyzes the message, takes the meaning out from that, and then he or she, the receiver, will give the feedback. The feedback will travel back to the sender. So, all the possible additional feedback travels to receiver, and all the barriers should be kept out. So, this is how we mean to say about the process of communication, which is important. So, friends, sender is the person who is also known as the communicator. Sender is the communicator who initiates the conversation, who starts the conversation, and he is the one who conceptualizes the idea. Encoding means the sender begins with the encoding process, wherein he uses certain words or non-verbal cues. Okay, the sender's knowledge, skills, background, competencies has a great impact on the success of the message. Then the message comes, then communication channel is chosen, the right channel. Then the receiver will receive the message, interpret the message, he will open the message, analyze the message, and take out the meaning from the message. That is known as decoding, and then the receiver will give the proper feedback on the basis according to the level of his understanding, which is very important. So, friends, we can conclude when we conclude about the meaning of communication, we can say that communication is a very important tool for organizations, for business houses, for corporate houses. not only for corporate houses but everybody. It is almost impossible for a human being to survive without communication. Right from our inception, right from the existence of the mankind, communication is there. We always communicate with our own style on the basis of our knowledge, on the basis of our skill, language and all. So my dear students, communication skills is an important topic. I am sure you all will benefit from all our videos and audios on this platform of BSSS Rhythm, which is always so encouraging, so engrossing, so enlightening and so illuminating, of course, yet so knowledgeable. All the best to all of you. Keep growing, keep developing, keep progressing and keep doing good. Good luck, God bless and have a blessed life to all of you. Thank you so much.